Let me very much thank Minister Steinitz for making the time to join us today, despite everything that's going on. I must say that given the news both today and over the last few days, we were quite concerned that that he may not be able to join at all, and it's really tremendous that he was able to. I think Dr. Steinitz made a few very obviously thought-provoking and fascinating talk with a few points that very much relate to what we're doing here. One is he mentioned the importance of technology and the fact that at the moment, at least, the civilized world has a technology advantage over the terrorists. He also discussed the fact that the terrorists are not operating in a random manner, but have a real plan to change the world. And in a way, there is a type of organization that's small and that does manage to change the world in a good way, and that's entrepreneurs and startups. And in some sense, that's something which I think is very important about this program and about what's happening. For example, what the US TISWIG group is supporting is helping entrepreneurs take this world-changing capability and orientation and apply it to the incredibly dangerous and difficult picture that Dr. Steinitz described. With that, let me, the next piece of our program is the startup contest itself. As I started to say before Dr. Steinitz arrived, we've got 8 contestants. Let me maybe say a couple of words about how the contestants got to be here and what's going to happen next. Basically, this program started in October with 43 applications. The judging panel worked very, very hard for a few months to somehow try to get the 43 very, very high-quality applications down to a group of finalists. In fact, there was supposed to be 6, but the applications were of such high quality that we couldn't keep ourselves to 6, and we've ended up inviting the 8 that you'll be seeing here today. These startups sort of cross the gamut of technologies and market domains, and pretty much the only thing they have in common is that they are applying their creativity and energy to exactly what Dr. Steinitz said, to changing the world into a better, a safer place. The other thing that they have in common is that they're startups and have a very hard life, as startups always do. And today we're going to make it a little bit harder by making them give their presentations in 6 minutes. We're going to, you'll be seeing each presenter present his vision, his the amazing things that he's created. And I say he because somehow all of our 8 finalists are males. So it's unfortunate, but it makes speaking easier. I don't have to say he, she each time. And has to compress their story into 6 minutes, which is incredibly difficult, but that's what they'll be doing. So what happens next is that we'll see the 8 presentations one after another. Then, while the rest of us are watching these upcoming speakers and discussions of the conference programs, the 8 finalists will spend the next 3 hours being grilled and interrogated in another room by the judging panel, at the end of which the judges will make their decision about which is the winner of the $100,000 prize. US Ambassador Dan Shapiro will then come to present the prize to the winning startup. Let me just take a second also to thank and introduce briefly our CTTSO, Combating Terrorism Technical Support Office partners who helped us, supported us, sponsored this program with a level of, to be honest, although they're a government organization, and maybe I'll get in trouble for that, although they were involved with a level of energy and creativity and flexibility, and I would even say fun, that would make any startup proud. So if I could, perhaps Shauna and Adam, if you could stand up. These are the two folks that we worked with intensively. But also other members of their team have come. Peter Dees from the State Department's Counterterrorism Bureau, and Lou Wasserzag from Tezwig. And we really appreciate how you have joined us today, forced yourself to leave the freezing cold snow of the East Coast and make your way over here. And let me say also the same to the folks from the Office of Naval Research, who looking for in the crowd here, but Mike Harper and Patricia Gruber, Dr. Patricia Gruber, who you'll be seeing on the panels a bit later. Okay, one last thing. It's actually not only the judges and startups that are going to be working today, but also you all. If you open your conference programs, there's a slip of paper in there which has the names, a list of the startups on the left-hand side, and two columns. And in the left-hand column, you will please put an X next to the startup at the end of the presentations that you personally think is the one that you would vote for. And in the right-hand column, put an X next to the startup that you think everyone else will vote for. In other words, which one you think will get the most votes. Now, let me say right up front, because I see some nervous-looking startups here, this has nothing to do with the judging. There will be no impact. The judges are working on completely different information. They're going to be interviewing the startups, and they've read long applications and all kinds of technical information. This is simply a way of kind of getting a sense of what an audience thinks of 8 presentations that you're going to see. The startup, towards the end of the day, the startup that has the most votes will get a prize. I'm sorry, it's not $100,000, but it's a year's free participation in all MIT Forum events and the MIT Consulting Program. And one audience member who correctly predicted which startup is going to get the most votes will get a very nice dinner for 2. So stick around for that. Okay, well, if that's the worst mistake I make today, well, I'll be very surprised. With that, let me invite up our first startup. They're listed in order of alphabetical order on the agenda. The first one we have coming up is NRI. And so let me call up Sergey Weissman. Oh, you can. You're doing it too. So, okay, thanks. Wait for me to set the timer.
Yep, sure. Well, actually, I'm not Sergey Weissman, but my name is Uri Antman, and I'm the CEO of NRI. I have a military background as an F-16 co-pilot in the Israeli Air Force and extensive business development experience in the high-tech industry. Let's start today's presentation with a short visual challenge. I will immediately show you a series of faces, and I ask you to try to count the number of times you see the face of this lady, Madonna. Now, it's going to be fast, so please concentrate. Ready? Go. Fast, I know. Please raise your hand if you detected Madonna at least one time. How about 4 times? Who saw at least 4 times? Great. Well, the answer to the riddle is that she was there for 6 times. Now, the face of Madonna is a simple example, but for Homeland Security experts, images of terrorists or concealed explosives will pop out exactly as Madonna did for you. Even if shown only for milliseconds, our brain is able to detect complex visual targets. But the issue is that if we need to report each time we recognize the target, we significantly reduce the time and the efficiency. But what if I could bypass the need to report? What if I could tell exactly when you detected a target by tapping into your brain activity directly and objectively? This is exactly what we do in InnerEye. Our technology allows the acceleration of image analysis, and we do so by leveraging the brain visual processing capabilities, eliminating the need to report and reducing the reaction time. Now, computer vision tools can do some of the work, but today there is no replacement for the sensitivity and flexibility of the human visual perception. The response to the terror threats and the increase in terror threats was to cover the world with visual surveillance platforms, drones, street cameras, satellites. The amount of visual data, images, and videos is overwhelming. Analysts are required to manually scan through huge amounts of data, and what they need to do is to rapidly find targets which are often vaguely defined. As an example, let's take the case of the Boston Marathon bombing in 2013. While the FBI was trying to identify and capture the terrorists, they deployed dozens of analysts to look through tens of thousands of images, and they were looking for somebody who just doesn't look similar to others in the crowd. InnerEye provides a tool to dramatically enhance analyst efficiency, allowing them to quickly and rapidly scan through huge amounts of data, and by that to cut down the time they need to spend in front of the screen. I will now show you a short animation that will explain how our technology works. Images and videos are first collected and processed by InnerEye's computer vision tools to look for suspicious images. Then, these images are rapidly streaming for an analyst review in a rate of 10 images per second. While the analysts screen and view the stream, InnerEye classification algorithms look for patterns of brain activity indicating that the analyst detected a target. The output of our system is the images where targets were detected and their metadata. Over the last 3 years, we extensively validated our technology. The benefits of our technology can be seen here. Target detection can be done up to 5 times faster than manually. We also reduce the false alarm rate in comparison with computer vision tools. But most importantly, the flexibility and the visual perception capabilities of the human brain allows us to rapidly change the target we look for, and also to look for targets which are not 100% defined. This is unlike computer target detection tools, which are not as flexible as the human brain and have very difficult in locating targets which are not 100% defined or well-defined. As an example, let's take faces. Computer target detection tools can recognize faces. But how about the target of a terrorist that the only information we have on is that he is a 45-year-old Eastern European origin and a bit nervous? Unlike computer target detection tools, our brain can detect such targets. As we can integrate our technology into any command and control and mission center, this allows us to work in conjunction with current tools and methods, and by that open a window to a large market and a wide range of potential customers. In the Homeland Security, for example, airport security, and our technology can assist in suspects detection and also in screening of cargo. It can also be used by search and rescue teams, military intelligence, and SWAT teams to look for targets in imagery. From a maturity standpoint, we will start to pilot our system this year with 2 potential customers, which we are already in discussions with, the IDF and an international security company focusing on airport security. We will integrate our tool, work with the mission specialist, and customize our tool and technology to their needs. This will allow us to transition these both pilots into commercial relationship and to start selling in 2017. To conclude, Inori's innovative technology will make it possible to take advantage of the wealth of information in the relevant time and to assist in the mission of combat terrorism. Thank you.